Russia now has North Korean troops. It has Iranian drones. It has communist Chinese missiles and ammunition. And now it is apparently going to get Houthis from Yemen to help in terms of infantry attacks against Ukraine. I have to say, I'm not only surprised, I'm disgusted. Whether they be radio hosts or podcasters, whether they be TV hosts who are trashing Ukraine. You know, it's one thing to say, I don't think we should have anything to do with Ukraine or something like that. Ukraine is defending itself. It's defending itself. And they're trying to get arms and support wherever they can. If it's your position they shouldn't get any from us, that's perfectly fine. I don't agree with it. That's perfectly fine. But to then start trashing Ukraine as starting World War III is stupid. Ukraine didn't start anything. Ukraine gave up all its nuclear weapons to Russia in 1994. In a deal we urged them to sign. We put a gun to their head. And it was signed by Russia, the United States, and Britain that the nuclear weapons that were in Ukraine after the fall of the Soviet Union would go to Russia. But what did they get in return? They got in return an agreement that Russia, Britain, and the United States would defend Ukraine against its enemies in order to give up its nuclear weapons. That was the deal. Like it or not, 1994. So they gave up their nuclear weapons. Putin kills his way to power. Putin takes other parts of what were freed nations. He grabs Crimea, grabs half of Georgia, among other things, and then he decides, I'm going to take Ukraine. Biden's in town. He just surrendered in Afghanistan. He gave the Taliban Afghanistan. He gave them all their weapons. He even gave them the biggest Air Force base probably in Europe. But it doesn't really matter, in Southeast Asia, I should say. And he sees all this. He puts about 125,000 troops on the border. Biden cracks some kind of joke. Just don't take it all or something to that effect. And he invades. There's Ukraine. Now it's Ukraine's fault. I mean, what is it? What kind of spell does Putin have over some of these damn fools? Why do they regurgitate what he says? I've been talking about this for 2 years now? Why all the focus on Ukraine as the enemy? Ukraine's not the enemy. They don't threaten us. They don't have nuclear weapons aimed at us. They don't have any nuclear weapons. Donald Trump is not an isolationist, folks. Some of his supporters are. He is not. He is not. He's not a hawk. He's not an interventionist. He just uses prudence, common sense to make his decisions. But he armed up Ukraine more than Obama did before he left office. Obama gave them blankets, pretty much. Trump gave them weapons. But the idea that Ukraine's going to start World War III, when Russia's all in, when China's all in, when North Korea's all in, when the Houthis are getting involved, when the Iranians are supplying these massive killer drones to overwhelm their defense systems, and they're aiming at their citizen centers. Ukraine's not aiming at anybody's citizen centers. When they do fire these missiles now in the last few days, they're aiming them at military depots to try and take out their ammunition. But it's like Hezbollah. Hezbollah is specifically aiming at citizens, at population centers, where Israel's not. But I don't get it. I really don't. I'll never get it. This love affair with this killer Putin. Like I said, you can have whatever position you want in terms of supporting Ukraine. I think we should. I'll be right back.